And we are off day 31, commencing for work. I have unlimited amount of excitement and energy to do the things that I love in this life, to write, to film, to edit, to work out, to do whatever, to surf. I just have like this huge, abundance of energy and excitement for all that stuff, but I have zero motivation to go sit inside of an office all day today and call and text people about health insurance. For whatever reason, it's just not there. I think it's just because I'm having a slow week and have not got paid for the previous 2 weeks due to some error, I guess, on my part, or misunderstanding on my part, and it just has zapped all the motivation from that quadrant of my life. But doesn't matter. Sometimes in life you got to do the thing that you want to do least. Yeah, in the big scheme of things, it would be the most productive for me to not go to work today and just focus on the things that I do have energy for, that are ultimately a lot more important in the long-term trajectory of my life. But it's simply not an option. I got to pay bills. I got to make money, and so yeah, you do what you have to do, and just hope that that excess energy, that well of passion and desire stays filled up, and I can utilize it on a day that I have more time, which I will absolutely do. But for the time being, at least I've got, I've got the luxury of a job where I can intersperse my creative work with my drone robot retard work, and can edit videos and everything for a little bit of time while I'm there. And thank God I also have the luxury of being able to go down to the gym and burn off a little steam during work, and not just sit in. I think part of the lack of motivation to do that today is I've basically done Sunday to Thursday last week, then had Friday and Saturday at least at home. Then I did Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And when I do that, I just have without more time, I know that's not that intense, but without more time interspersed in there for physical therapy, I am just in tremendous amount of lower back pain. I mean, my lower back is absolutely killing me. It's like a 6 out of 10. It was like a 9.1 out of 10 when I woke up this morning, until I sauna, stood, bike, stretched, and that lowered it down to a 7. But it's just deeply uncomfortable, and I think it just is already, I think it just is like kind of what pushes me over the edge of non-motivation for work, is just knowing that I have to go sit there in the seated position with only like one little glimpse of relief when I go down and do a quick chest workout. And that just kind of saps the extra energy right out of me. But it's an exercise in endurance and in pain tolerance, which just being paralyzed in general is an exercise in both of those things, and in patience. And so you're always pushing forward, always inching and creeping your way forward, even though sometimes it feels like you're just running in place, or you're I think it's Sisyphus or whoever that guy was. It was doomed to roll the boulder up the. It might not be Sisyphus at all. I'm not really in tune with Greek mythology, but Sisyphus, we had to push the boulder up the mountain. Every time I got to the top, it would roll back down. Some days it feels, like you got ran over by the boulder and you're starting from the bottom, but it's just not the case. It's an illusion. The boulder stops halfway down on a rock or gets caught. You can really mess things up in your life and end up at the bottom again, but I am not in the habit of doing that anymore. I'm done, getting to the top of the mountain in the sight and just imploding my whole life with, different clever ways of self-sabotage. I've quit many jobs in the past prematurely because I just got, overwhelmed with the monotony and the boringness, and I just have such a deep ethos that do what you're going to remember when you are on your deathbed, when you're 80, and live your life like a book, live it like it's a story you want to read. And we all want to read the story where the main character busts out of normal life and has that sudden epiphany and realization and just charges ahead and chases their dreams, which is great. I would love to do that, but in my experience of doing that in the past, I've done it prematurely. I've done it without planning. I've done it without some sort of real foundation to build on in place, and then ended up just getting overwhelmed with bills and life and everything like that. And, the whole exercise kind of ended up being a step backward in different ways. So I'm not going to do that anytime soon. There's very likely that I'll be, selling health insurance for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years if I absolutely have to do that to, get forward and build up momentum and everything. I don't think that it's going to be that long, but I'm not taking that off the table. That's what I, am willing to do inside my mind. You've heard my spiel about how that probably won't even be an option with AI coming along, but, I'll do what I can. I'm going to do, perform well, and the people that I work for and work with are awesome, and I want to, perform and bring value to the team and everything. But at the end of the day, you got to look out for yourself and your family. And long term, for me, that means, strategically planning an exit at the right time. Once I've got other streams of income that can cover all of my bills, and then, plus 25% more than that for unforeseen costs and unexpected things, especially considering being paralyzed comes with a lot of those unexpected costs. I will do it, but who knows how long that could take. If everything goes to plan, it could be 6 to 12 months. But if there's hiccups and other unplanned events along the way, or just I get bogged down by my own inaction, there won't be self-sabotage. But if I get, if I take the wrong path, like I said yesterday, I think I'm whacking my way through the jungle here, and if I get off track for a little bit, it could, take longer to, to find the trail. But that's all right. And my phone is probably very shortly going to overheat because it's just roasting in the sun on my dash. So I'm just going to throw on motivating podcast about business or health or entrepreneurship, or something from one of something that from a podcast that's like notorious in my you know catalog of podcasts for giving me a little motivation. Maybe I'll do Ben Greenfield. Maybe I'll do Chris Williamson, Steve Bartlett with A Diary of a CEO. It's a fantastic podcast for motivation. Ed Milet. It's a little too intense for me right now. Ed Milet is like I have to be working out or something to listen to that guy. He's just or just on a walk. He's yeah, he's special and he's amazing. I absolutely love his shows, but I got to be in the right mindset for that. It's same with like what's his name? It's like the most famous. Phone overheated. That's why the AC is blasting. But Tony Robinson, yeah, that's his name, right? Why does that sound wrong? Anyways, yeah, I need to be in the right mood for that as well. But I'm signing out, headed to work, and I'll see you in the gym. Let's get a solid chest workout on today. Psych. Change of plans. We are actually going to do a back workout today. I just decided, hey, I gotta improvise, gotta find some ways to get some back exercise in this gym. I haven't actually tried this machine yet. I just assumed, I guess, maybe naively, that I wouldn't be able to get a super great back workout on this one just because of my core strength and my core balance. I thought I would, I basically don't have working lower back muscles. And so I figured trying to, get a really good pull on the upper back, I'd just tip forward. And to some extent, that is the case. I couldn't go very heavy at all. I don't even remember exactly what I put on here, but it wasn't much. It was like 40 pounds or something like that. But, I just wanted to show this part as well. Just getting into position, always, especially on a new machine, is always a bit of a struggle, especially fighting against spasms. I guess whatever weight I went with was too heavy and I had to lower it down. But fighting against spasms and everything makes it a bit tough. So just wanted to kind of show the process of trying out this new machine, and it does end up working pretty decent, at least if I squeeze super hard at the back end of it. But it serves a double purpose of giving me a nice hamstring stretch when sitting all day at work, and those hamstrings just shortening throughout the day. That can be worth it kind of in and of itself, because it definitely contributes to lower back pain and just overall discomfort, and also leads to a lot of long-term problems if your hamstrings are just shortening over time. But yep, finally managed to get myself in position, get my feet. It looks like there's foot straps or foot pads right where my hand is. There's another set of foot pads in that other position. But what the surprise on this one is I basically couldn't go as heavy as I needed to get a nice, lat workout or whatever this is supposed to do, back workout. But it turned out to be a really good kind of lower back workout and lower abdominal muscle workout. So definitely has its advantages, and it's just, my back is what I need to be working on the most. So I just can't have there be no back options in this gym. There is a pull down machine, but I just can't reach it. Might see if I can't grab a couple carabiners somewhere and have someone help me lower it down a little bit so that I can manage to grab a hold of it. But overall, rate this as a decent workout for paraplegic person. Not the best, but worth doing. I ended up doing about 3 I did one more. I think I just considered this a warm up set, and then did kind of 3 more sets after this. Pretty high rep, but I won't bore you with all of those. We can just hop straight into this next workout. I'm obsessed with this one. This is becoming my favorite workout by far, for the biceps, just because I for whatever reason, for all the years that I've worked out, I've just never done bicep cable curls for any reason. And it's just awesome that the hardest point of the exercise is that internal squeezing, and you can get that nice hard squeeze in there. Now that I'm watching myself do this in the future, I'm thinking I really actually need to be squeezing for quite a lot longer. And what I do with these ones is just, do a certain amount per side, 8, 10. I'm not actually counting here what it is, but, do 8 or 10 of them, and then just, kind of switch it up, switch it back and forth until I'm feeling a really nice burn in there. But can't recommend these enough. It is kind of, you do have to kind of fiddle with getting the right angle. I know that on a few of these I angled it a bit differently, and it was basically like cheating. I was not getting as much activation in, the peak of the bicep as I wanted to. And so just, be careful with that. I guess if, targeting the bicep is the goal here, which I can't imagine what the hell else you would be doing if you were doing this exercise. But yeah, just ended up, going through, I basically probably did, in the end, probably did about 30, 30 reps per side, not crazy high weight. And next time I'll definitely, at the top there, really focus on the squeeze a lot more. But it is what it is. I only had a short amount of time to work out, and my mind wasn't really all the way in it, but got a little bit of work done, and happy with that. So anyways, after this, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing up a little bit higher. Just my real focus today was to try to start to improvise and get creative on upper back stuff. I can do lower back workouts by just bending over in the chair. I tried to do I think 1 rep of those, and then my wheelchair was getting pulled forward, so I just went and grabbed some weights to put them in front of my chair because my brakes were just not doing the job. As I pulled on this exercise, it was just turning my wheelchair, even with my brakes locked down solid. And I've got really good brakes on this chair, and I'll actually, in the video, either tomorrow or the next day, I'll be switching the brakes onto my camping chair. But yeah, this kind of same thing. If I went much heavier, kind of as heavy as I should be doing on these, my wheelchair would, even with the weights there, would start inching forward one way or the other. But these are pretty good, especially, I'm really trying to focus on the squeeze in the back. Again, felt like I was getting a good squeeze when I was doing it, but actually it turns out need to, as I'm watching it back, need to spend some more time. So yeah, just speed this up so that we can kind of bust out this workout and get over it. Just did the same thing, did probably about 3 sets per side. Pathetically enough, I cannot count or think about how many sets I'm watching while I'm doing, thinking about what I'm supposed to be saying here. But yeah, overall rate this workout, like a 5.5 out of 10. Definitely didn't push myself as hard as I could have, but I'm realizing that doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just the consistency. It's way less about how hard you go than just getting in there day after day. driving home from work, right as I left work, I FaceTimed my family because it's my little niece's first birthday. And I mean, the main thing I took from it, and kind of why I wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit, is just about responsibility as a man, and it just not changing at all for my own happiness just due to a disability. My grandmother was on FaceTime for a little bit, and she just looks super unwell. She's in her mid to late 80s, and she's struggling. She's struggling with numerous things, and it absolutely kills me and fills me with guilt and shame that I can't, that I haven't, by the age of 31, designed a life where I can go back and take care of her and, spend as much time as possible with her in her old age. Because I just think one of the worst things that's happened in American society and the West in general is the fact that we don't respect, take care of, and really cherish the elders in our life. And I know for a fact that, if I was in the place that I expected to be when I was 31 years old, and I had, the ability to, I had, a big property and my home, and I could build a home for them and, pay for the proper care and help and doctors and specialists and functional medicine doctors and physical therapists and everything, the full gamut of real care, not just allopathic medicine that she needs. I know she wouldn't be deteriorating at this rate, and there's nothing in life that could convince me that that isn't a worthy thing to feel deep amounts of shame and guilt about, as a 31-year-old male. I just don't think there's any excuse for it. I think that, you should be a provider for your family. And I don't think, in my case especially, that, everyone else can make their own excuses or have their own idea of what they're capable of. But in my reckoning, I don't think being disabled is at all an excuse or a reason that I'm not doing that. I think it's a million small choices that I've made, either selfish or indulgent or weak or, negative thinking where I didn't think I could do something, feared, and I didn't act on it. I think it's only, base emotions that I hadn't conquered that led to certain decisions that have prevented me from being in the position that I should be, to be able to, fully care for everyone in my sphere that I love. I just think, as a man, if you don't take that on as your responsibility, and it doesn't, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's my opinion, it's how I feel. I just think that you should take responsibility for at least being able to care for the wider reach of everyone that you love. And, I know most people are just, in American society, are just concerned, with caring for themselves, their kids, their wife. And I just don't think that's enough. That's just how I feel about it. And if there's ever been anything in life that's more motivating me, it's the powerlessness I feel in being able to spend, this cherished last years with my grandparents. There is a beautiful sunrise behind me, but also a beautiful rainbow in front of me. And yeah, nothing could possibly motivate me more, because I'm never gonna have myself in a position like this again. I'm gonna be able to, not only financially, but I want to have the network, the connections, the ability to call people who have knowledge about health and wellness and well-being outside of going to her family medicine doctor, and actually, provide a meaningful difference. And I want to be able to, do that as well. But yeah, it's just kind of a little rant that I'm going on as I think about the just incredibly short amount of time we have with the people we love on this earth. I heard a meaningful thing about parenting that really stuck with me, just in general about my own parents and family and everything in general, is that, you get to spend, the first 18 years with your kid. I don't remember exactly the saying was. Basically, you spend the first 18 years with your kids, and then from the time they turn 18 until they die, you basically only get one more year with them. And it's not exactly the case, but over the course of time, you spend 5 days here, 5 days there, a weekend here, especially if, they move to another city, they go to college, they start a family there, you visit Christmas, you visit a few days a year. It takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years to add up to, another full year spent with the people you love. And I don't want that in my life whatsoever. That is not how I think human beings should live. The most important thing on earth to me is my family connections and the connections that I have with my friends, and not connections talking on FaceTime and calling on the phone. That's great. It's about the memories actually made together in person. Everything that I'm doing, I personally get super depressed in the winter farther up north in America. I get seasonal depression from probably it really starts to set in sometime in November, and it peaks in January, and then it's like end of January onwards, it's like a buildup again of happiness and energy and motivation, and it's this really cyclical thing and then it peaks right around summer equinox or solstice or whatever the hell it is, like June 21st. That's when my energy really peaks for the year, and then it slowly starts to wane again, really gradually, until it bottoms out in January. And so for me right now, or just in general, I need the ocean, I need the tropics. I love living in endless summer here in Florida. I just feel so much more potential to heal than going through that severe kind of cycle of depression that I get up in Idaho during the wintertime. So my only choice to be able to unite my family regularly and for long periods of time is to create some sort of life where I can sustain myself financially traveling, and where I can sustain traveling back and forth between locations, some sort of remote working situation, and also have the financial means to bring my family to wherever I am, or to go to wherever they are. And that's a huge motivation for me. All of my financial motivation, outside of basically healing and healing stuff like stem cells, and I'm motivated by that sort of stuff, and just general, you know, being able to pay my bills. But all my real financial goals are completely tied up in being able to spend as much time with family and friends as possible. And I just feel, objectively, I don't just feel, it is an objective truth that at this time in my life I have completely failed to do so, and nothing could bring me more fuel and motivation and fire. It even ignites more energy in me than healing does. And I really do, I guess the message is, everything is motivation, and our time with the people we love is limited. And please don't please don't take that time for granted. I guess that is the the little message I had to put out here today. I believe it's day 31, if I'm correct, and the sun is setting on that day. So I'm gonna head inside, a little bit melancholy, take a quick shower, and get to bed really early tonight and get some rest, and just absolutely crush tomorrow, crush the day after, and crush every day going forward. Gonna up the game on video editing, because I do think that it's incredible that I can just film something on my phone that I carry around everywhere with me, piece it together on my computer and upload it, and 7 billion people, roughly, not everyone has access to it, but billions of people have instantaneous access to it. I think it's amazing. I think it's the only way that I know of, maybe not YouTube, but through the medium of the internet is the only way I know of to build something meaningful like I want to, at scale, in the amount of time that I would like to do it. I'm going to start, I'm going to do this 180-day challenge vlog every day for 180 days. Then after that, I'm going to do 2 videos per week. I'm going to do one where I interview an expert, at least 2 videos a week, but 2 videos a week no matter what. One where I interview an expert and on some thing to do with spinal cord injury or healing or neurodegeneration, or the cutting edge of health technology. I'm going to do that once per week, and then I'm going to do like an adventure type video or some sort of training video or something like that, whatever I'm involved in at the moment. If I'm getting some sort of interesting physical therapy or going on surf trips or whatever it is, we'll film that as well, and then we'll just kind of see from there. But then also going to use this medium to promote a couple of books that I'm going to get published, and hopefully just over the course of time grow a community of like-minded people that want to get together and build an incredible healing sanctuary of some sort, probably a tropical one and probably a mountain one. Gonna start with the mountain one, and if I'm entirely honest, due to the population density in Florida and the nature of geopolitics and everything. Gonna start with a mountain sanctuary, because I think that is the most undervalued land in some of the most undervalued land in the world right now, for reasons that haven't yet matured, whatever happened. So gonna do that, and just super excited. If anyone has made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Excited that you are here with me, and I really, you can't believe how much I appreciate it that you took an interest in my life and what I'm doing. I hope that this this video finds you well, happy, and chasing your own destiny. Day 31 over and out.